hadith number 455. This hadith is amazing, brothers, sisters. This hadith for you, our sisters, seriously. Aisha, the wife of Rasulullah, narrated this hadith. قالت لقد رأيت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يوما على باب حجرتي والحبشة يلعبون في المسجد ورسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يسترني بردائه أنظر إلى لعبهم. Sayyidatuna Aisha mentioned what happened between her and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She said, once I saw Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam at the door of my house while some of Ethiopians were playing in the mosque. What they do? Displaying their skills with spears. Spears, when you say this, when you do some sword or something, or sometimes they do it with some stick or some wood, like this. They do it to show their skills with fighting. That means they are strong. And this happened where? In the middle of the Masjid al-Nabawi. This to give us the idea, to be honest. Sayyidatuna Aisha, she said, Allah's Messenger was screening me with his rida, with his garment, with his thawb. You see, when I get my jubba and I do like this, Sayyidina, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, imagine that. Wallahi, I feel that in my mind. I see that. The Prophet hold that, like this is the door, he did like this, and his jubba covered this side. And Sayyidina Aisha put her head in the one relation. She said, my cheek touched the cheek of Rasulullah. What is this amazing treatment? And in other narration, she said between his earlobe and his shoulder. That means her face here. This is the treatment. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ didn't say, oh Aisha, we are in masjid. Oh Aisha, don't do that in front of people. He didn't say that. To teach us as a man, don't be like this. If unfortunately we do that with halal, and you find people with haram, they walk on the street and they don't care. They kiss each other. And I don't say this is right. But look at the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, how taught us to treat our wives. He covered her and he let her to watch what happened. There is, Imam al-Bukhari mentioned this hadith in the other chapter, Ishratun Nisa, how to treat your wives. Sayyidatuna Aisha, in other narration, she said, وَأَنَا أَنظُرُ. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ cover, and he let me watch these Ethiopian men when they do this display. And Sayyidatuna Aisha, she said, I was looking until the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, enough. She said, little bit more. He kept her. Second time, till Sayyidatuna Aisha, she said, that's enough. He said, that's fine, go. In the third narration, the Sayyidatuna Aisha, she said, فَقْدِرُوا قَدَرَ الْجَارِيَةَ الْحَدِيثَةَ السِّنِّ. Now, look at us. When we get nikah, average age, we'll get nikah 23, 24 till 28, isn't it? This average age. He get nikah with girl, maybe her age. I'm talking before. In this country, we cannot get this until she get 18, isn't it? But in Muslim country, you find a man his age 25, 26, and his wife 13, 14, 15. Does that make sense? You must to understand that her mind is still mind of a child. You have to understand this point. Wallahi, I met one of my friends, he was Sheikh. I met him, he studied with me in the university. He was a little bit angry. I said, what happened? He said, Sheikh, my parents give me wife like child. She want to get some You know, when you go to say some as-salatu, some sweet or chips or something like this from the, I feel shy when I took her to market. She like biscuit, chocolate, like 13, yes. I said, how old is she? He said 13. I said, you have to understand that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu treats Sayyidina Aisha same. Sayyidina Aisha, when she get nikah with the Prophet 10 years old, 9 years old, you have to give her her rights. Do you understand me, brother? Same. We like to get young girl for our children. You have to teach your son, if you get this age, you have to give her her right perfectly. At the same time, I want to get a doctor lady as a wife. Okay, do you know what does mean doctor lady? That means this lady study in the high level of education, she graduated from the university, she has her power, her special mind. You have to understand as well this point. So this hadith will teach us how we treat our wives. How many times I used to say, wives not for kitchen and bedroom only. Wife, our partners. Does that make sense? We say in Arabic, nusfak al-thani, that means your partner, the half part of you. So you have to understand how to treat this. Otherwise, what happened now between, do you know, I heard this in Muslim country now, more than 70 to 80% from the husband, wife get divorced. Why? Wallahi, because they don't study this. They know the hadith, they memorize hadith, but they don't practice it. And the last point, how the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ treat his wife. This hadith can make, wallahi, big book or folder, how the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ treat his wives, how we should follow the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ with this subject. The Prophet recognized his wife very young age, and she liked to look at them. He didn't say, oh Aisha, you look at men. No. He knows what he has, and he allowed her to watch that with him. Do you understand me, brothers? And he will not do like as we do. We take our ladies to market, and what we do? Quickly please, your wife bring, I do that, you do that. Your wife brings something, why do you bring this? How much this? Why you, it's not important. Your wife will say, okay, let us finish quickly, let us finish. Does that make sense? All of you are smiling. Let her do her work. I make relax. Go, buy what do you want. I will collect you after 10 minutes. How long you need? Half an hour? I will go to pray Isha and come. And sometime will I go with her? Yes. But just I advise her. This is like, as we know in market, this you have to teach your wife your experience. In market, the old stuff put it in front, and the new stuff put it, this fair enough, because if they keep the old stuff back, will expire and they will lose at that time. So I told my wife, always look at the stuff that you put in the basket, because ladies, they take the apple, put it in the basket, but one or two of them, it's expired. Let's say خربان. شو يعني خربان يا جماعة؟ rotten. So you have to tell her, no, watch them to get something perfect. That's it. Don't tell her why this. We have egg. Why you bring this? She has a plan to make some sweet. That's it, some cake. This is very important. He asked, enough? She said, I need more. Okay. He didn't ask her later until she said, that's enough. Brothers, wallahi, we need that. Trust me, if we ask our ladies, they said, please, Sheikh, teach our husband just this idea. Just this idea. If his wife speak with her mom, Ladies, they like to talk. Why you talk too much? And you find him, if she want to do something too long, you find ladies dislike their husband to sit with them. Does that make sense? May Allah guide us to right way. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا متقبلا يا أرحم